So I am not doing the live session this week since there didn't seem to be enough interest in it. But what I have decided to do was to record for you some information focusing, excuse me, mostly on the upcoming assignments. So just a little bit of feedback for week 6 or module 6. Guerrilla marketing is not necessarily unethical. There were several folks who just kept talking about how unethical it was. I was looking for examples of guerrilla campaigns, and I wanted to see some examples of effective guerrilla campaigns, not just the bad ones. The VSS link was not up to date, so I was hoping that you would find some updated information about what happened since 2012 when it was actually posted. There was a new VSS link, if you could find it, to 2018. And I was looking for you to do some research on technology using business journal articles or articles in the library. So those are two of the things that I was looking for in the discussion board. I have not yet graded the team or group papers since none of them were submitted this afternoon. All right, so let's look at what's due in Module 7. For discussion board 7.1, you're supposed to watch 30 minutes of primetime national TV, keep track of the number of ads and number of different sponsors, record the number of national versus local ads, pick 2 ads and briefly describe them. Evaluate the context in which the ads appeared. Did the ads align with whatever program you were watching? So did it seem to go along with who the target audience is for the program that you were watching? Were the ads appropriate for the audience? Did it make sense that this would be the ad that went to that specific audience? For discussion board 7.2, you're going to be looking at an archive of Yankee Magazine. You're going to compare their current website and the old website, discussing how it evolved. Are there new features? Are there better customer connectivity applications? You're also going to try to review a print issue and how the print issue that you reviewed works in alignment with the website. And you should be able to just get a most recent print issue at yankee.com. You're going to assess what they have done so far, the effectiveness of the redesign, and whether or not their redesign is attractive to readers and advertisers. And you're going to make some recommendations and decide, do you think this magazine can be saved? Can any magazine be saved in today's environment? And why or why not can't Yankee Magazine be saved? So for 7.1 and 7.2, make sure you use citations and references, respond to all of the required elements. You'll need 2 peer replies for each question, and 1 peer reply in each thread can be to me. Module or milestone 4 for veggies. You're going to determine the objectives of a campaign. You're going to look at brand awareness, knowledge of brand, interest in brand, favorable attitudes and image towards the brand, and purchase intentions. You're going to determine a budget method and what money would be needed to reach your objectives of that campaign that you just previously mentioned. Objectives for each proposed element in the Integrated Marketing Communications Plan, IMC. Have 1 objective for each level in the communications effects model, and I'll show you that in a second. Be sure your objectives are SMART with capital letters, and I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. And estimate the measurable outcomes based on dollars spent, number of new customers, percentage of market, or if there are other measures that you think are appropriate for veggies. Use a bottom-up method to budget, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute too. Show the estimate of objective and task cost for each campaign element. Provide an explanation of the method used to determine the cost in each IMC element, and assume veggies will have a gross margin comparable to competitors. This is the communication effects model. You start with awareness, and it's a funnel because what you want to do is first build awareness, then you're going to have customers or potential customers interested in what you have to offer. They desire it, and then they take action. So there's a lot less people taking action than people who are aware, and that's the funnel. So you are going to look at building a campaign to develop awareness, interest, desire, and action. SMART goals. We talked about these a little bit before. SMART is not the same as clever. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, realistic or relevant, and time-bound. One goal has to have all of these elements to be SMART. So if we use the example, increase profitability by 15% in the next fiscal year, that is a SMART goal. Earn an MBA with a 3.5 GPA by December 2019 is a SMART goal. Why are these both SMART? They're specific, they're measurable, 15%, 3.5 GPA. It's attainable. You can earn a 15% profitability within a fiscal year, and you can earn a GPA with a 3.5 average. SMART, realistic. Both of these are realistic goals, and they're time-bound, fiscal year, December 2019. So here's another example, and these are not SMART. Increase profitability by 15% in the next month. Unless you are a brand new startup company, it would be nearly impossible to increase profitability by 15% in 1 month. Earn an MBA with a 4.0 GPA in 1 year. You probably could earn an MBA with a 4.0 GPA, but probably not in a year because that's not realistic or attainable. So make sure all of your goals are SMART, that they have specifics, they're measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And you do not break the goal down by those elements. You write one goal that has all of those components to it, like increase profitability by 15% in the next fiscal year. For veggies, it could be increase the number of new customers by 10% in the first 3 months. Bottom-up budgeting. You start with the underlying costs for each individual initiative, and then you total up each element. Bottom down is you create a number, and then you fill in the gap with everything you want to do based on that number. Bottom up is more realistic because you look at what each thing you want to do, each initiative is going to cost, and then you total it up. Remember, you need to use APA formatting, which includes headings. Make sure you have citations and references, and review all previous feedback and incorporate it into this milestone paper. Here are the headings that I would use for this paper. I'd start out with veggies with a little bit of an overview, the campaign objectives, the budgeting method, IMC objectives and measurable outcomes, summary, and references. This is the way I would do it. Is it the only way to do it? Absolutely not. But what I have said to you before is if I take each required main element and make it a heading, I've outlined the paper and I've ensured that I have covered all of the requirements. All right, so here's some food for thought for you. Consider having one team member starting to pull together the final paper. It's worth 600 points. So what do you need to do to start pulling together all of the previous milestones? You want to eliminate redundancies, combine sections. You don't want to say something twice. Implement corrections and improvement suggestions. If there are charts, graphs, pictures, move those to the appendices at the back of the paper. Check to see if all your citations and references match. Confirm all sections are included, and check your APA formatting and guideline. And these are some of the comments that I have made in the returned milestone papers. So if you have any questions, you can post them in class. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'm going to be signing off.